Okay, today is Saturday, August the 15th, 2015. What do you do? I have to stop saying What do you do with the handmade paper that you make? That should be the title of this video. Very quickly, I took some handmade paper that I made, and I said to myself, well, you can't just keep making all this paper. What are you going to do with it? So I decided to do a little casting. And this is nothing but a tray which is made out of paper. I'm going to entitle this Plate of Poppies. This is the mold. Bought it in a doll store. This basically started out as two pieces of paper, a purple and a lavender, and I did a simple basket weave, 5 strips this way, 5 strips this way, going across. The paper was dry. I did the basket weave, I placed it in the mold, and then I wet the paper so that the paper would start to take the shape of this mold. Okay? And then I painted it, I coated it with some type of adhesive. I think it was a clear glue. And it held, but it really didn't hold, and I knew it wasn't going to hold, and I knew it needed something else. But for the first attempt, it was okay. I could see that it had some holes in it. Some spots are a little thinner. And I said, well, this is too thin and it's not very strong. The foundation is not very strong. So then, wherever I thought I saw holes, I added more purple and white paper just to make the foundation stronger. Okay. Then I didn't like the way that it looked. It just looked like purple and lavender splotches. So I said, I just want to do something with this. So I took some paper, not really having any type of idea. You know, when you just take something and you do something, and then an idea will come later. So I took these pieces and I just started adding them down in rough random circles, and they started to look like poppies to me. So then I pretty much finished it up like that. I added the centers, a little bit of embellishment with some markers, and ending up coating it with pouring medium from Liquitex, which I really do like. It's so much better than a regular glue. It gives you a high gloss, and it really makes things quite firm. This, you know, needs a couple more coats, maybe 2 or 3 more coats. Needs coats in the back. It's very, very lightweight, very, very lightweight, and it's getting firm. But with the 2 more coats, it'll be quite firm. This was something that I made a long time ago, which was like one of my first projects, just in a strainer. And this has had time to cure or to harden. I say this is about like a month old, maybe a little bit more. And this is quite hard now. I like that. So I'm hoping that this is going to be as hard as this. Okay, moving on. What does one do when they're done with their water? I found that was going to be a problem because the waste water was very mucky, and you can only use that waste water like so much. I only use it like for two tries of paper making, and then, you know, I can't take it anymore. And I wasn't throwing it down my drain in my sinks, and I really did not want to flush it because I saw how much sediment it had. So I started straining it, and I use a strainer like this. This is a strainer. Sorry, I'm not filming this very well. This is a strainer and netting, and I would fold the netting 4 times and put it in a strainer and strain it. So at first I was it would strain, and I get this leftover in the strainer, and I said, oh wow, this is kind of interesting. You know, looks like 8 cartons. You could probably use it in a mixed media piece. So, like, I worked with a brown one day. This was a pink. I had pink water, and I had like this bluish, whitish water. So I said, okay, I can kind of use, maybe I can use this in a project, or at least it's not going to go down my drains. It's just going to go in paper garbage. Then I thought of this cool idea. Once that it's strained, it actually feels like paper clay. Maybe not as smooth. And what I quickly do is I strain it, and then I flatten it out. I flatten it out into a circle or a square. Okay, it dries like this. This is what comes out of your water. This is not coated. This is just the paper. You can see specks in it. This is all what's left over in your paper, in the wastewater, which is quite a bit. Okay, and then this is the same thing. I just painted this with a thick white gesso. So I'm going to use this as a foundation. Maybe I'll do some collage art. And this is definitely going to be the base. This is going to be another base. This is a little wonky, but all you do is put it in a book, put it under your mattress, and this flattens out. Okay? So if you're ever wondering, wow, you know, what do I really do, if you're really concerned, you know, that you wouldn't have pipe problems later. I live in a city, you know, you're using everything. You are just really using everything. And, you know, so that's a pretty good idea. Okay, other things that I've been doing, cast paper. This was some art that kind of like, it kind of fell apart, and I said I'm going to use it because I saw an idea where people put cast paper over molds and then let it dry and then take it off and see what they have. Well, I tried it, and I didn't have a release agent, which I should have known. So, like, when I pulled it off, you were going to see all of these mounds and things, but I was unable to pull it off. But this actually started looking quite interesting to me. So this is not finished. I'm going to do something with these white areas. I just don't know what, but this is holding this quite solidly, and I like that. I like that. So I'm also thinking, you know, you have like a lot of ugly paper that you don't like in your house, like telephone books and shopping circulars and things like that. If you make thick paper and you connect them together while they're wet, you can make large panels, which you can do collage art on, and as opposed to, let's say, going out and buying something. That's just an idea. That's something I'm going to experiment with, but you know, this does produce a substantial type of paper. And I'm going to stop right here. I have one more thing that I've been doing with the handmade paper, which will be another video, but that's it for now. I'm really liking this, and so that's it. Have a blessed one. Stay tuned for one more video. Bye.